You're all set.
Okay, thank you, Lauren. I'd like to call the order Anna Reynolds School Project Building Committee. It is Thursday, April 6th. It's about 5:18. Lauren, could you do the roll call, please?
Chairperson Woods,
Here.
Carol Duggan,
Here.
Bruce Fletcher,
Here.
Counselor Camillo,
Here.
Amy Parati,
Here.
Counselor Rada.
Here.
That's everyone.
Thank you. Next item is public participation. Don't think we have anybody. I just looked at 0 for attendees on the public side. Still 0. So the next is take action on prior meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion that we accept the minutes for March 16th, 2023, right? Not two, regular meeting.
The minutes for March 16th.
Yeah. Thank you, Carol.
Second.
And a second by Mike. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed. Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Next item is take action on potential change orders. We have a few of them in front of us. I'm actually going to start first with, I've made calls to everybody. Kim, unfortunately, I didn't have your cell phone information. I didn't get you. So you're going to be hearing this probably for the first time. Some of you know, some of it you probably don't. We ran into an issue in B-Wing on the existing slab because of the radiant floor piping that was there back in 70 years ago when they built the building. For whatever reason, that particular wing, it appears that a lot of the pipes were set higher than they should have been. So they're exposed up through the top of the concrete, causing severe cracking through a good part of the classroom on the east and west side wings. Hallway nowhere near as drastic as the classroom wings. Good news is that we're abandoning all of the radiant floor heating to begin with. And so the question was, what do we do? The first thing we did was to see if in fact we had a slab that was stable. So KBA had their engineer of record come out, and we have a letter basically telling us that yes, in fact, that slab is stable. And it more than likely hasn't moved in 70 years. It probably won't move again. Could there continue to be some cracking? Yes. So then we looked at how do we go about fixing it? Do we rip it out and replace it? Which you see here, there is a spreadsheet up in front of us. We did look at that. I knew it was going to be expensive. The cost there is $540,000, and that's a little bit misleading because the second to the bottom line there, which is future phasing, scheduling, and impact, none of that is in there. As far as the dollar cost goes, that would jump dramatically. But the good news is, I'm going to skip right down. I don't want to spend too much time on that. The good news is we do have a remedy, which is the slab remediation, which I've talked to most of you about this. And I guess before I go even further, I want to really thank Newfield. They're the ones that did the investigation on this. They went out and found, talking to their suppliers and their vendors, and they came up with this new product, new to us. It's called Shonex. And they had the sales rep come out to the site, visit the school. He actually gave us a presentation last week of how the product works, what we'll do. And the difference between what we're doing now with the slab remediation and the existing slab that we had in AC wing, this new product doesn't adhere to the substrate. So it doesn't stick to that bottom layer of existing slab. It kind of floats on top of it. So any of that minor cracking that's going on should not interfere with this 5/8 of an inch slab that will harden out to, I believe it's 6,300 pounds per square inch of strength, which is pretty tight. We will, before we put that product down, we will have AEI, who is our demo contractor, remove any of the existing pipes that are protruding. And then Higgins, who was our flooring contractor, would then come through and patch that. And then Higgins also, as I told you all, is an authorized and certified applicator for this Shonex product. So this isn't new to them. They've done it before. They just got through completing a decent sized project down at Yale. I think it was one of the Yale hospital buildings that down there, and they use this product. So it's not new to them. And it looks like it's definitely going to solve our problem. It'll give us the floor that we're looking for that will hold up 20, 25, 30 years without causing expense to the board down the road, 3, 4, 5 years. With that, I'm going to actually kind of turn it back over to Newfield and Rich. I'm sure there's some stuff that I missed. If you'd like to add anything, and if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand. But I didn't finish with the cost. The cost, obviously, you can see there's a big difference in cost. This is $242,000, $241,925. So there's a big difference in what the cost would be to the project, and it also keeps us on schedule and on track. With that, Rich, is there anything that you want to add?
No, I think that the biggest difference here between the remediation and the replacement options are the schedule impacts. The replacement would tend to drive out future phases depending on how we rephase and restructure our schedule to allow for that work to take place. Whereas the remediation does go on a bit later in the phasing, so we already have our walls up, so we can, as soon as we get the direction here, we would, with the remediation, we'd be able to proceed with some of this outside construction that's been on hold for the past couple of weeks, which is the precast and the exterior walls and some interior walls as well. So, essentially, we've come up with these two replacement and remediation options here to present to you. So, I think we've thoroughly looked at all the options here and in pretty good detail on what it would take to do both of these.
Okay, thanks. Any questions for myself or Rich or anybody? I don't see anything. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not missing somebody's hand up. I'm not. Okay, then I would entertain a motion that we approve the slab remediation in amount not to exceed $241,925 for B-Wing.
I had a question.
Yep, go ahead, Mike.
How many square feet are we talking?
About 12,000, Mike, a little bit less,
Okay.
11, 12,000 square feet. I think it's actually a little bit more than that for all the square footage in there, but some of it we've taken out already, right? So they've backed that out. So what's going to be replaced anyways for the floor cutting that we had to do, there's maybe 1,000, 1,500 feet that had to be removed. But we're talking about 12,000 square feet approximately.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
You make a motion to approve.
Thank you. And a second from someone?
Second.
Thank you, Amy. A second from Amy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Is there anyone opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. Okay, I have one more, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Rich for the rest of the change orders. We talked about this at our last meeting. New word for me, well, I guess the new acronym WTs, which are upright posts that are bolted down to a slab. We were told at our last meeting that there is a concern. We've done some investigative work. Believe it or not, on the east side of B-Wing, they are fine. The new precast concrete has already been hung. There doesn't appear to be any issues. We did some test pits and examined the concrete there. The west side, we did not fare so well. Those are the pictures you saw last time. So we need to remediate those And I believe the solution is, that's been presented, is that they're going to cut them somewhere above grade, re-weld a new footing to the bottom of it, attach that footing to the slab, which then sits on top of the foundation, and then they coat that with some sort of an epoxy paint to keep it in place. And that cost, I believe, is around $45,000. So, Rich, can you put that up? I think we have that in a, yeah. So it's actually a little bit less, $43,538.08. And that's for Rich, I believe it's 52. Is that correct? I think that's the total number.
Total number for,
For the WTs on the west side.
oh, 52, the count, yes.
Yeah, the count.
52.
Yeah.
Yes.
To any questions on this one? These are key things that we need to make sure that we approve for them so they can keep the project moving forward. Then I would
Motion?
I would think of entertain a motion that we would be a change order PCO 92 in the amount of $43,538.08.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike. And a second?
Second.
Second by Carol. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. And again, my hats off to Newfield for getting this solution for us to keep this project moving forward. And then, Rich, I'll turn it back to you for the other change orders that we have.
All right. The change order log here, it was originally sent out with the original agendas. I did make an addition to this today. I missed adding PCO 69 to this log. So that is another contingency item we just are adding in here. Just it was submitted earlier this month through our approval process with the design team and the owner's rep. So I just missed putting on this log last week. So the ones we do have on here for PCO 60, we had modifications to DOAS 1A steel due to the existing conditions of the steel in the lobby for the air handler unit that's up on the roof. It's actually right, if you've been in the school, it's actually directly over the lobby in that carpeted area that we put down, temporary carpet. So the steel directly above there needed to be modified from the original design to make it work with what was out there. PCO 61, there was additional wood blocking required because the DOAS unit on the top of the ramp in the first phase needed to be rotated to work around existing structural beams that were unknown, which required some additional wood blocking to raise the unit up higher on the roof, just to not affect dropping water with the installation. PCO 69, we had to reframe some interior of the exterior wall stud framing to add some additional masonry piers that were not part of the original drawings, but so we had to take up and put back some track and studs. PCO 75 is a value management item, which is something we haven't had in a while, but at the beginning of the job, if you remember, we did have a large number of PCOs that were part of value management from part of the bid phase for pulling some costs out of the job. So that is what this number is here. So that just lines up with what was originally discussed in the bid time. PCO 78, the width on the urinal screens needed to be adjusted from what was originally specified to meet code requirements with the urinals that were ultimately selected. PCO 80, the elevator machine room did not originally have a fire extinguisher as part of the design, didn't necessarily use the machine room depending on which elevator contractor was awarded the job. So there was an added fire extinguisher required by code to be put into that room. Now there is machine room equipment in there. So there's the additional cost for that. PCO 81 is related to some hardware changes. These were owner requested changes after the occupancy of the first phase. And some of these changes have been taken care of already. Others are still forthcoming for some future phase work as well. So we're capturing that cost here. PCO number 82 is another CM contingency item. The roof access stair, we extended the rental period on that. This covers up through towards the end of February. That's for us, for our trades access onto the roof level. PCO number 84 is for sprinkler valve relocation based off of the state elevator inspector came in, and before we can get the elevator approved by the state for use by the building, he requested some of the sprinkler valves be relocated, which required work by the fire protection contractor as well as the fire alarm contractor, because the fire alarm does monitor that valve. Both their costs are involved in this PCO. For PCO 85, room A127, there's additional masonry supports, which just needed, were required to be added. PCO number 86, furnish and install an angle at the nurse's office. This is the exterior of the nurse, supporting 3 sections of brick to either side of the 2 windows that are in that office, which is another CM contingency item. PCO number 87 is for the relocation of existing sprinkler main and pipe in phase 1. The design intent of the pipe work in phase 1 was that the existing mains would be reused and that the heads would be changed out for the MEP coordination to work and the existing conditions in that space. There was additional work required to reroute some of those mains and pipes in roughly the corridor area for the other mechanicals to be installed. And for PCO 88, at the turnover, we walked to the building with the fire marshal and the building inspector, and they had requested that we install some temporary carpet in the lobby. If you've been in the lobby of the building since turnover, you'll see there's a section of carpet in there, 30 or so tiles, carpet squares. We did end up reusing some of those. Those carpet squares actually came out of the B-wing classrooms, so there was no charge for the materials for the carpet in there. This is the labor, some glue, some transition strips, whatnot required just to satisfy the fire marshal with any potential for tripping hazards and the smooth and rough surface out there to level that off. Any questions?
Any questions for Rich? If not, go ahead. Someone said no. Okay, I entertain a motion that we approve PCO 60, 61, 69, 75, 78, 80, 81, 82, 84, 85, 86, 87, and 88 in the amount of $25,029.18.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike. And a second,
Second.
someone? I'm sorry, who seconded it? Bruce?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. Any further questions, discussions? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thanks, Rich. Take action on invoices. Is that going to be Lauren or Eileen?
I'm pulling them up right now.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning. Can you all see that okay?
All I can see is just the Zoom
Oh,
screen.
hold on. It just told me Zoom quit unexpectedly.
That just happened to me as well.
Okay. me try it again.
There you go.
All right, there we go. Shrink it a little so you guys can hopefully see.
Okay, so this is just Castle Booz's monthly rec in the
Yep.
amount of $6,111.36. We might as well do these individuals. So I'd entertain a motion that we approve KBA's monthly rec in that amount, $6,111.36.
Make a motion.
Motion.
Made by Mike, it's seconded by Carol. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Next one. So CSG's, again, monthly requisition in the amount of $10,028.25. So I'd entertain a motion that we approve that.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
Kim, thank you for the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next one. So this is our monthly bill from Myers for, I believe this is just storage in the
Correct.
amount of, and now you're hurting me here with his small print. So, $255.68. Yes, thank you. In the amount of $255.68, I would entertain a motion that we approve for the monthly storage.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike. And a second,
Second.
second by Amy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Next one. Okay. Well, this is our special, this is just for inspections, correct?
Yes, structural.
Okay, so make a motion that we approve the invoice in the amount of $1,200 for Swayzak, Kilty, and Floor.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Bruce. And a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next one, Lauren. So Freeman in the amount of $600, correct? Yes.
Yes, the stormwater maintenance.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion for $600 for Freeman Companies for stormwater inspection.
So moved.
Thank you, Kim. And a
Second.
second. Second by Bruce. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Steve, this is for
Yeah.
the technology portion of phase AC.
Okay, so we already approved this, don't we have, or is this in addition to what we?
Well, this is the invoice. This is the actual invoice. We did a purchase order. So this is the invoice against that purchase order.
Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and we'll approve it then. Just, what's the name of the company? Go back up to the top a little bit.
Oh,
so I can see.
Whaley
Oh,
Computers.
Whaley, all right. So I entertain a motion for Whaley Computer Associates in the amount of $13,771.
Motion.
Thank you,
Second.
Carol. Second by Amy or Kim?
Amy.
Amy, thank you, Amy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next one.
It goes along with this. This is the installation for it.
Okay. So it's in the amount of $720 for the same company, Whaley Computer Associates, in the amount of $720. Someone want to approve it?
Big motion.
Thank you.
Second.
And a second by Kim. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. This is the most we've had in a while.
Right. And then actually, she just, yeah, go ahead. We just approved those two. Sorry,
Okay, so this one is for Innovative Engineering Services.
commissioning
amount-
agent.
Right, for these commissioning agent forms for the amount of $1,733.99. Someone will approve that for me, please.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Amy. And a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mike. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. One more. So same company in the amount of $998.55, which is IES. So a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
And a second. Dr. Fletcher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, I think we captured them all, I believe, right? Or you got another one hiding down there?
No,
No? Okay. All right,
That's-
thank you.
March was 5 weeks. February is short, March is longer.
Next item is architect's update. Jennifer? I see you're wired for sound tonight.
I am. I got my operator headset on.
Yeah.
Hate these things. Okay. I think I'm not sharing yet. There we go.
You're sharing.
Am I
a
sharing?
Self-portrait.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay,
now.
good. Excellent, thanks. Okay, so our recent design team activity is similar to what it's been. The difference is, which was discussed a bit earlier, is that we've had other visits recently to evaluate the existing slab and column, those WTs, to evaluate those conditions, which weren't anticipated by anybody, unfortunately. So we had prepared observation reports. There's even a letter for the slab, and we designed potential replacement details for the slab so that pricing could be done. So you had two options to look at: the slab replacement versus slab repair. And we also had designed repair and replacement details for the WT columns, which were priced, and that was reviewed earlier. Also, those potential change orders that we reviewed earlier that Rich went through, we had reviewed those with Newfield and CSG. And we had recommended those as they stood and, as they were prepared for you, we had recommended those for your approval, but we wanted you to know we looked at those, as well as I thought was up for tonight, but maybe I have that wrong. It is?
No,
Okay. All right. Application for payment number 9 from Newfield, with all the contractors in there with their pay recs. We reviewed those together with CSG, and Newfield made any comments or recommendations if we had any issues and rectified all those. So we do recommend that for your payment as well. And that's it. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Any questions for Jennifer? Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
Sure.
Eileen, Owner's Project Manager update.
Sure, I've been coordinating a lot with the owner team and Newfield, the Newfield construction activities that are going to take place next week. There's also going to be some new FF&E that's going to be installed on Tuesday. The orders have been placed for the August furniture. I don't have any dates back yet, but waiting for that. If I've been updating and processing invoices, also meeting a lot on site with KBA and Newfield, going over things that are going on the site. CSG also recommends that the PCOs be accepted, which they were, and we also approve application payment number 9 as well. Does anyone have any questions? I'll do a financial update next meeting, the 20th.
Any questions for Eileen? You're off the hook, Eileen. Thank you. Rich, you're back up. Construction Managers update.
So yeah, we've been keeping busy with all this, the slab remediation and replacement proposals. So we've been contacting a lot with our trades, working to get that pricing that you had seen earlier. So that's been a large portion of what we've been doing on site for in our trailer, but out in the field, we have been moving forward with what work we can right now. We were holding off on setting door frames, setting additional masonry on the slab, just trying to not do any work that might have to be removed if that slab did have to be replaced. So fortunately, finding that other Shonex product will allow us to get going again on the exterior installs. So I'll pull up the first picture here. Is on the courtyard side. We have the precast installed. We have the framing up. Everything's framed out for the windows. For us, when we move forward with the Shonex product, that'll actually go in sometime probably around June. It'll go in before the flooring does, but after the walls are already up. So we'll be doing the same procedure onto the opposite side, the west side of the building. That precast is already on site. So we have been continuing with what work we knew would stay in place, either option that we selected for this for the slab. So underground plumbing has still been going. The masonry. So yeah, here you can see underground plumbing, underground, the radon piping is in place. And we've been working to get the piers here that you see for shear walls installed as well. With all this being under slab, we knew this work would continue with either option. So we did continue with this work to not lose any additional time. The steel above to support the rooftop units, as well as the demo that was done to open up the space in the middle of the corridor, which you'll see here. We had some masonry work to install the new bearing plates that'll support the roof. Because this is a structural wall, we did have to make some modifications. So that work was done by the mason this past couple of weeks. So we've been able to continue with that. And we'll keep working through those. We're in the next few weeks, we're going to be using this April break next week to get into the first phase back into the AC wing. We know we have some punch list work to complete over there, so we have trades lined up to finish the glass that goes in the doors needs to be final installed. Window sills will be installed, and ceiling tiles be replaced that are damaged, ceiling grid that's damaged being replaced, and paint touch-ups that need to occur will also occur then. So we've been coordinating with Eileen and Jason Smith to get the teachers their stuff that's in their rooms cleared out of where we need to work. So once they leave after the end of the day today, we'll have all next week in that space to kind of bring it back to where we need to be as far as that punch list goes. And they'll be in a good spot to just continue occupying those rooms after the April break. So we'll have our trades in there, perform the work they need to, and we'll follow it up with a cleaner coming in. We've also got some exploratory work scheduled for next week for the E and F wing, because the EF wing does have a similar construction to B wing, and we found these slab conditions in B wing where we can see these slab cracking once you remove the floor. So we do have 3 rooms scheduled. We've coordinated with Jason again on this to identify 3 rooms we're going to go into, cut the carpet open, and check to see if we have a similar slab condition over there. And if we do, we'll be able to address that before we get to that wing of the building, which the demo and such is slated right now to start in in June when the kids get out of school. So yeah, the next couple weeks, we'll get back into where we need to be with our schedule and in B wing, as well as the look ahead stuff into the phase 4 and the punch list stuff from phase 1. So kind of going to be all over the place the next couple weeks, getting everything done that we can in that space. Additionally, in the old media center, which is now in a PT room, we're going to be getting under the slab in there to go and feed the electrical closet, because the gear in that closet feeds the B wing that we're working in now. Again, we'll be there tomorrow. We'll be there on Saturday, getting as much of that work done while the kids are gone as we can. And just we'll continue with this phase. Any questions?
Thanks, Rich. Anyone have any questions for Rich? Any question I have, Rich, was there any logic to which 3 rooms you're going to sample in EF wing, or is it just random?
We went with at least one of the wings has one of the rooms has the radiant flooring in it that is active, and one of them has it where it is already failed.
Okay.
So we have a map from Lou showing which rooms had active and which ones had previously failed flooring. So we've picked those, and working with Jason, he's seemed to pick areas that teachers had rugs already set up, so we can pull the rug back, do our cutting of the carpet underneath. We'll have our carpet installer come in and clean it up, but ultimately it'll get covered up by the teacher's rug, whatever the decorative,
Whatever area rug they have. Okay.
area rug they have in there. So trying to be as least disruption to them as possible.
Okay.
I think there was one chosen on either side of the corridor too. So there was a courtyard
Correct.
condition and a non-courtyard condition.
Correct.
Because the grade was different on either side, we thought that might have an impact.
Yeah, and the subgrade is going to be different too, because as you get lower in that site, there's much less rock, right? You can, and that
Right.
one of those first pictures that Rich showed today, you can see that, that when they were excavating for the plumbing and the drainage there, not that one, the other one, that one, you can see the shot rock in that picture. So it's definitely, as we climb up the hill, the rock gets shallower and shallower. Okay. Any other questions? We'll move on to any other business pertinent to the committee. I believe we have one item that I know of, which is Newfield's pay app number 9. Somebody put that up on the screen. There we go. So I entertain a motion that we approve payment application number 9 from Newfield Construction in the amount of $654,825.97.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike, and seconded by Carol. That work? Thank you, Carol. Any discussion? Again, these are all reviewed by the architect, as you heard before, as well as the owner's project manager, which is Eileen, and then I actually even initial and sign off on it. Okay, so a motion, we made the motion in the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Public participation. I think we still have no one in the public. I'll double check. 0 for attendees. Our next item is comments by members. Anyone before we sign off? Seeing and hearing none. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Michael. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, we stand adjourned at 5:58. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate
Thank you.
all your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward
much.
to-
For your weekend.
Yeah, I'm actually back next week, so I'm looking forward to getting up and walking through the building.
Have a
Have a
nice
good night.
holiday.
You too.
Thank you too.